I think I break too much like an anxiety paralysis. Then you're not breaking. If it's an anxiety, like if there's, what is anxiety? Looks like fear. So fear of something bad happening, it looks like here. Tense, feeling tense, restlessness. Is your mind racing a million miles a minute? So you can't like bring down an actual thought. So worry, unfocused. This ain't resting. This ain't taking a break. Baby, this is an overdrive. That's not taking a break. How do we overcome this? We got to calm all the mind chatter. See, there's like a crap ton of mind chatter that's going on. And it's vibrating, 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 vibrating. And what is it doing? It's activating everything within our body. Our neurological energy is activating those frequencies in our DNA and our cellular being so that we are constantly in flight mode. We're in flight mode when we're in anxiety. I'm not talking about anybody. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just talking energetically what's happening. Okay? This isn't a judgment. This is just I'm just making a statement. So, if you're in a constant motion of flight mode, and probably fight, and I'm going to actually call it fright. You can't process anything. You can't move up to higher resonance in that mode because that's energy frequency that's way down at the bottom of the scale. So, what we have to do is unpack what's making us feel this way and then one by one deal with each of the fears, right? Because you guys remember what fear is, right? False evidence appearing real. Now, I used to think that that little acronym was just so hokey and so cheesy and so cheeky. And primarily that's because I heard certain groups of people saying it all the time, who then would turn around and be full of fear and doubt and shame and guilt and judgment. And I'm like, you're operating from a place of being afraid that if you piss somebody off, you're going to go somewhere you don't want to be for eternity. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Do you know why it's false evidence? Because you have the ability to change it. It is temporal. This ties back to the 3D, 5D. It is temporal. So I want you to go through each thing that you think is going to be bad, that something bad's going to happen. Well, what do you think is going to happen? And I want you to literally just kind of sit with it and think, like literally, I used to, oh my God, I still do this. I literally just did this the other day. I was trying to make a decision whether or not to go and jump on a flight and go somewhere. Now, part of it was for work, part of it was for pleasure, some networking. I was like freaking out. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I had to talk to at least one of my friends and another one, two of my friends. And they finally calmed me down. But I found myself saying, okay, if I do this, then what if this happens? Or what if that, like all of a sudden I'm getting anxious. I'm like, why am I getting anxious? What is the point? What is the problem? There was no problem. Now, I didn't end up going. Logistically, it wasn't going to make sense. I wasn't going to make a particular dinner that was happening, and it just wasn't going to make sense. But the fact that I finally worked through some of these fears helped me unlock another layer in shadow work. And now I'm open to receiving again. I'm open to receiving the possibility of travel, of all sorts of things. If I'm tense, if I'm tensed up, my energy is not flowing. It's like if the drain is clogged a little bit, the water doesn't go down the drain very easily. It takes a long time. I can't think if I'm like this. Why am I tense? Like, this is literally a lot of self work. Because, see, when you're releasing all of this and you stop, the mind racing stops, the more effective your meditation game is. The more you train yourself to have the capability to go to a quiet place immediately in your being, where your mind doesn't have the right to sit here and piss and moan and complain, where it's got to take a back seat so that your higher self can look across the expanse of eternity and come back with your guides and your angels and your ancestors and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. 3D, this is what's of our high, this is where we're at. Now, we know you made this other decision over here against our better judgment and against our advice. That's okay. I have an alternative plan to get us out of this jam. And guess what? All of us already knew you were going to make that foolish decision. So we already have it all worked out. My point is that if your mind is racing, if you worry, all of this, there's no rest to be had. So work through the false evidence that appears to be real, because I guarantee you, I've always, once I started unpacking all these things, I always found out, you know what? The worst really ain't that bad, but the upside is amazing. Hey gang, it's Dr. Lisa here. Thank you for watching this video. I very, very much appreciate it. Listen, I'm having a webinar tonight. Today is Thursday. So if it's Thursday, April the 20th, when you see this, then just know I'm having it tonight, right? 5steps.limitlesslightworker.co. We're going to talk about the 5 steps it takes to create a spiritual business. 5 steps to create a spiritual business. It's not going to be very long. We're going to have a chance to chit chat and talk. So, just come on by. It's completely free. It's on Zoom. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. So don't be tardy. We're going to go through 5 steps to create a spiritual business. I want to see you there. Absolutely free. Let me serve you. Thanks so much. I will see you soon. 5steps.limitlesslightworker.co. Bye, guys.